Shenanigans. Okay.
I think we're back.
We are back. I feel like we're back.
Back in black? Back in green.
Definitely,
Hello?
definitely in black. All right. Part 5 are we at now?
At least 4.
4?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, 4 is not so bad. I've seen we are part 4s before. Part 5 is when it gets to just ridiculousness. And anything beyond that.
Back in green.
Definitely. All right, we're going to see if this loop thing has been figured out. We've actually physically done something different now. So that's part 5 are we at now? There's a chance we're right.
At least 4.
4?
Yeah,
Oh,
check
okay.
on
Well,
my
4 is not so bad.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Part 5 is when it gets to just ridiculousness. And anything beyond that. Mine says off. All right, we're going to see if this loop thing has been figured out. We've actually physically done something different. So that's part 5 are we at now? There's a chance we're right. 4. I like Sam Seed's. I like the comments there. Great. Part 5 is when it gets to
Give us something we can work with, Mr. C.
All right, we're going to see if this loop. Are we good now? Are we good? We have to wait a little minute until it starts. Because when it starts. All right. I like Sam Seed's so far. I like seeing Happy Face from KTI, which is maybe 5. Nope. Echo's still present. Spring Hill. The echo must come from. Are we good now? Are we good? They seem to get the echo first. Starts. Because when it starts.
Still looping.
All right. I like Sam Seed's so far. Part 5. I think Sam's Echo's still present. Point. He knows about. He knew part 5 before we knew it.
He knew.
Are we good now? Are we good? I see psychic first. Psychic chat room.
Still looping.
Right. Guess how many parts? That'll be the ultimate contest winner of the thing. How many parts will this show be? 5. That could just be. That could be the ultimate. And we'll give you everything we got, Pat.
Give you the full Monty.
Part 5. Full deal for Millennium.
He knew.
At least a 7. Loop de loop. Damn.
Still looping.
Guess how many parts? That'll be the ultimate contest winner of the thing. How many? Still loop de loop. Check it out. Check it out. Still looping. At least you guys are good. Thanks for responding quick so we don't waste your time.
Indeed.
Sure.
Yes.
Well then. Now
Still loop de loop. What, you going to the opposite? Check it out. Check it out. Still looping. Yeah, we're done. We're looped. At least you guys are good. Thanks for responding quick so we don't waste your time.
Indeed.
Sure.
Yes.
Loop.
Says same. No, it's not a deed. Still loop de loop. What, you going to the opposite? Check it out. Check it out. Still looping. Yeah, we're done. We're looped. At least you guys are good. Thanks for responding quick so we don't waste your time.
Indeed.
Sure.
Yes.
Loop.
Says same. Wait, now it sounds okay. No, it's not a deed. Still loop de loop. What, you going to the opposite? Check it out. Check it out. Still looping. Yeah, we're done. We're looped. At least you guys are good. Thanks for responding quick so we don't waste your time.
Indeed.
Sure.
We're getting excited. We may have broke the says same. Wait, the loop now it sounds okay. No, it's not a deed. Still loop de loop. What, you going to the opposite? Check it out. Check it out. Still looping. Yeah, we're done. We're looped. At least you guys are good. Thanks for responding quick so we don't waste your time.
Indeed.
Sure.
We're getting excited. Russell says, "Loop, we may have broke the says same." Wait, the loop now it sounds okay. No, it's not a deed. Still loop de loop. What, you going to the opposite? Check it out. Check it out. Still looping. Yeah, we're done. We're looped. At least you guys are good. Thanks for responding quick so we don't waste your time.
Indeed.
Sure.
We're getting excited. Russell says, "Loop, we may have broke the says same." What is going on? This is literally. No, it's not a deed. Still loop de loop. What, you going to the opposite? Check it out. Check it out. Still looping. Yeah, we're done. We're looped. At least you guys are good. Thanks for responding quick so we don't waste your time.
Indeed.
Sure.
Still a little loopy. Still loop de loop. What, you going to the opposite? 1 to 2 minute delay, but still looping. Yeah, we're just.
No. What, are you watching the show now? I just tried something. Is it still watching the loop? Is it just the audio that's looping, or is it what?
We will be drunk by the end of the show, I guarantee you.
Well,
That's.
we're gonna get something. It's like fishing. We're catching something, damn it.
Nah, dude. Like we're saying, we're having a decent time just chilling, man. We're fine. We are fine.
Yeah, man.
That's a pretty legit idea for all that stuff over there, man.
That's
That's
exactly
awesome.
the way
I like
that
it.
the kid had
It's really
it
good.
last week. And apparently it was doing it last week too. So people are saying it was doing the same thing. So it's yeah, man. I don't know. And the week before that, when I listened to the show, it had yeah, wow, he's gone. That's a useless conversation. He's just lost. He's more lost than I am. If you can imagine that. I think it has something to do with the way that the equipment is all interfaced and the signal path and flow, and that's something I can't just fix.
Facebook Live. Where is it?
Oh, so, yeah, Samsy, by the way, who's the guy sitting down? They're like, who the fuck are these guys?
Who is this guy?
Who the fuck are these guys? Understandable.
All right.
Tony Baloney's not here in the loop anymore.
Only Tony Baloney. Okay, now everybody go to Tony Baloney's house. That's pretty much how we have to do this. It's like everyone needs to go to whoever's house is not looping because it is the millennial loop we've been caught. We caught it.
Got it.
Loop to loop.
Okay, so Adam's mic delays the most.
Of course, my mic's always the worst.
Somebody, it's fixed. El Formero 420.
Huh?
El Formero 420 says it's fixed.
Okay, guys, this is crazy. So if everybody who's on the chat room can tell us pretty much if they still are hearing a delay, because apparently a couple aren't, but most. But then we get people like, is my mic the only one delaying? Because if it is, give me that mic over there. If everybody who's on the chat room can tell us pretty much.
You want to try it?
Let's see.
All right, one more time. Let's check this shit out. Any better on this mic than before? Any better on this mic? Any better on this mic?
Testes,
check.
testes.
Testes.
Testes 1, 2, 3.
3, oh. Extra testicle.
No
you sound
loop.
Good. It's working.
Let's
on
go.
The show. Yes. It's
Yes, now
delayed.
seems
Your
better.
mic,
No
Test,
loop.
test.
Good.
Test.
Let's go. No loop.
Testes,
Holy
testes.
fuck.
It's fixed.
It's going to come, you watch.
Been at least
Do we play
30
the theme
minutes. Sounds good.
All right, guys. Woo. No loop. Yeah, it takes a minute to tell is what everybody's saying. I know that. I know that. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're all excited and happy. Woohoo, show's going.
You sound fine, Adam.
I do?
Well, that's what Boo says.
That's what we're getting.
If Boo thinks so, I'm
Eureka.
feeling, Eureka.
Oh, wow, okay.
That mic seems better, says Tony Baloney.
Okay, well.
No baloney from
See,
Tony.
I always get
baloney from
fucked,
Tony.
man. I don't know what it is. I think it's because I'm the host, but I always get the worst mic, and I have the worst voice, so the combination just sucks. You know what I mean? It's like guy with the most nasally worst voice gets the worst mic.
No, you got the gravelly radio voice.
Oh no,
What are you
only
talking
when
about?
I'm really drunk from the night before. And then I get the like there's one show I couldn't barely even make it. So yeah. Anyway, okay, we're still good. Everybody's still good.
Feeling good?
Everybody's like, give it a sec.
Give
Nobody
it a
believes it.
sec,
Nobody
yeah,
believes.
nobody believes
Have
it.
faith.
And there's the loop from Tony Baloney.
Loop, loop, loop.
Hello.
Hello. Loop, loop, loop.
Echo.
Yo. All right.
Good to go. I mean,
I don't know. I'm kind of. I just don't want to have everybody having shitty sound personally, and I'd rather fix the problem.
You
And
got
do
Sam
it.
saying all good in the hood.
but it
But
sounds
it sounds
okay.
okay.
Come on, Tony Baloney.
Tony Baloney, you tell me. You're the man.
TB, where are we at, buddy?
We keep the show going.
Quality control.
Crowdfund out of a new mic. Yes, we've gone through mics. I'm telling you, it's.
They're not.
I have some curse.
There is a loop. ICW.
But maybe we can work. How do we work the loop into the story? That's-
Loopity loop.
You know, like what is looping? Is it the whole thing is looping or just a second of it? That's the problem. I don't hear it, so we don't know.
I did turn that other mic off pretty sharp.
Everything's
Thank you.
It's not for lack of effort. I will,
Yeah, that's
I
a
will
good
say
point,
that.
Cole. That's a great point.
What is looping? Well, out of the gate, in case we lose everybody on this show, let's just talk about the 3 products that we are going to give away in case this whole thing turns to shit. Because you guys have, as we talked about on the first show, if you guys want to go back and listen to it from the Millennium thing, obviously every component is interesting in itself, but there is always like, it doesn't matter what line you work with, there's always the part. You know what I mean? Like with Advanced, their overdrive is good. Everybody knows their overdrive is good. You can't really argue with it. Like it works. The shit works. And certain other companies have products like Aptus when they came out.
Sure.
Facilitator. That was the thing. You know, nobody'd seen that before, and all of a sudden that was the one thing. So we kind of zoned in, I think, last time. And interestingly enough, 2 of them are my favorite, I'd say. Like the Ruby and the Decision. Those 2 products, I believe, are stand out, even though, and they end very independent in their own, which is cool.
Sure.
And then you guys but you guys had a different idea, which was to give them the Winter Frost, because that's like, again, another product which you see results that, you know, that's what you're all aiming for. I want to see, I want to see something that is different or better, and so through the power of decisions, major decisions, and luckily we have, you know, we got it together. We decided just to give them all. Right?
It's easier that way. And I mean, the bottom line is you know, you give me a little bit at the beginning, writing your transition day, and give me a little bit of a pre-flush, and that's the decision on transition, and the winter is a pre-flush, and everything else stays the same. So it's a great way to get in the line. It's a great way to check it out. It's a great way to see the efficacy, and we really, truly believe in those products. And they are, you know, the wow products in the line.
Yep. Very well said, Jaron. Again, it's the Bloom Initiator, Decision. We have the multi-part, multi-source fulvic Ruby, and then the finishing product, of course, Winter. Very limited use additives, except for the, you know, Ruby, of course, use that the entire time. But Decision and Winter are very limited use and they have a profound effect on plants. So.
Okay, so Winter Frost. Here's a good. That's something where the first time I saw it, and I think I said it on the last show too, is like, damn, that looks like Winter Frost stuff. Like you could see it was like. Now, was that by design or was that by the fact that, like, I mean, was the whole idea, okay, we're going to make this thing appear like this, or was it just a matter of the components that were in there gave it that quality? Because it's just a very white, powy, you know, it's kind of got that, like, it's almost like, I feel a little bit like somewhere between radiator fluid and something, you know what I mean? There's this, like,
it's a glow.
There's a glow to it.
There is definitely a glow. Yeah, and I mean, and the oil content is prolific, no doubt about it. And bottom line, yeah, it does some interesting things. It's meant and designed and developed to initiate senescing, which is a normal process in plants. It's a ripening process that all plants go through, especially annual plants. So
that's triggered by
winter frost, absolutely. Gotcha. And as a somewhat of a byproduct of that, you get the phenotypic expression out of it, and we're tricking the plant and basically saying it's going to frost. It's the end of your lifetime. It's late in the fall. It's going to frost. You better protect yourself, and that's where a lot of the oil comes out. So it is. It's a blanket. They're throwing out a blanket. Bottom line.
And and you use it like a couple times in the end, pretty much, or
I mean, up to anywhere from 3 to 7 days is what I'd say. Right, Cole? I mean, I want to get multiple waterings on it to get that effect, but you can take it all the way up to a week.
Yeah, you can definitely take it to a week if you're in, you know, substrates like soil, cocoa, peat-based soilless medias.
Yeah, good point.
You know, Jaron and I commonly recommend between 3 and 5 days, and then a 5 to 7 day flush, and then, you know, that flush period is where you really start to see the product really do its magic.
Do you need to hit it up a couple times, or is once good enough? Is it just kind of like a signal thing where it hits it, gets it, does it, or does it need? Is it actually the product itself that needs to be sort of on the plant or on the roots to work? Let's say.
I would say once is better than none, but
obviously.
definitely recommend a few applications if possible.
Yeah,
okay.
I would suggest multiple uses. Unlike Decision, where, you know, you can definitely do a one-time use up to, let's say, 2 or 3 days, but you wouldn't necessarily want to take it a whole week. The Decision, you can extend it a little bit farther. Or the winter frost, sorry.
Definitely recommend a few applications if possible.
Yeah, I would suggest
flatter and closer.
All right, there we go.
There we go.
So yeah, no.
Tony Baloney told me to do that. So
okay,
thanks, Tony.
Who's determining these compensation?
Huh?
I think Tony. Well,
He already
Tony,
Tony got
Tony,
killed.
you
Tony
know
just
you're
got.
getting New Millennium already. It's
He
it's
got
a
the
done deal.
best. He got the best deal the other day. He got his package from KTI, packed with a bunch of extra little goodies in there, some extra little knickknacks. But he definitely, he's been hooked. Don't you worry. Tony Baloney's.
Man, thank you for all your help, Tony. Honestly,
Producer. He's producer status now.
There you go. So no, I mean both of them. The great part about using it at the beginning, using it at the end, and everything else stays the same. You will see that beautiful bloom initiation from Decision, which will help basically eliminate the transition week. By using these products, you will see faster ripening times as well. So that's one of the other benefits. It's not necessarily designed to do that, but as a byproduct of their process and effectiveness, they will cut 3, 5, 7 days off your run with it, which is very nice as well.
Sometimes I get there's that opposite effect though, where actually there's a lot of times where I'm pissed off because things don't finish out the way I thought, because they end up going like you see them setting up, they look great, and all of a sudden they finish out, and those are the kind of strains I get pisses me off. Those are the ones that piss me off more than anything. So
no, and I can understand that.
So
And
I
it's
never
one
hit
of those
those.
things where you do. I mean, you have to adjust a little bit. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I had stuff that I took a little bit longer on a normal basis, and I had to adjust that a little bit. But you can, and it is very adaptable, and you can adjust it for what you see fit for your growing style.
And then the other product we were talking about, so the Ruby Fulvic.
Yep, which you last time called the Silver Bullet, which I appreciate that. I thought that was a really accurate description. It is a kind of a catch-all, cure-all, be-all. Used all the time, 5 mils a gallon, beginning to end. Multi-part Fulvic, really nice product. Could be used with any line all the time.
And what people should understand is the difference between humics and Fulvics, because one's mobile, one's immobile.
Sure.
So then it makes it a little. So Fulvic's basically the creme de la creme.
That's what you want now. Unfortunately, based on the USDA, we can't classify it as a fulvic, of course, because they're all humics.
Oh, okay,
So-
sorry.
No.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So that's why you see it as we don't. It's not registered as a fulvic product, but for anybody that's listening, that's exactly what it is. It's a fulvic product that's registered as a molybdenum.
A what now?
It's registered as a molybdenum.
I knew that was gonna be. I just wanted to hear him say it. A couple
Yeah, I
times.
know, right? It's a fun one.
It's a molybdenum. It's a molybdenum.
That is what it's technically.
Sounds like Millennium almost. You guys could almost work that into it. Yeah. It's a molybdenum.
Mhm.
Work it into your program.
So that's what it's registered at, but it's the fulvic acid pack that you want out of it.
Yeah, and yeah, because I remember the first products that I got to see in Holland. Because in Holland, the interesting part is they're very unexciting about their marketing, because it's all there and it's just get it, you know what I mean? Like, here, you want it? Got it. So it was really hard to understand some of the how powerful some of these things were, and I was buying them from the greenhouse supply centers and stuff, and I remember getting some fulvic, and it just all went south on me because later when I realized what I was like, man, I was just like bombarding them, you know what I mean? It was too much, and like anything, too much is never good,
Right.
What's the so what's the correlation between, like, let's say the fulvics, the Ruby Full?
Mhm.
How would you even call that product? Because it's just a bunch of letters and stuff. So what's the actual term? Because you can't call it that. So
because we can't call it that, and that's why you see Ruby Full in the hashtag. It's a bigger return on investment. It's a higher percentage of output, and that's kind of where you get the hashtag, the percent, et cetera. It's
yeah. If you look on the original page, you'll see the label that we're talking about.
right.
And I was always wondering if it was like full of shit. Because that's kind of what I saw right away. Like, what's the F and then a bunch of
I've
swear
heard
words?
that before.
That's full of shit, right? Ruby full of shit. That's kind of in my mind what it turned into. Like, I knew it wasn't that, but I was like,
Right.
What are they trying to say here? It's like Ruby Fool's swear word.
Right.
So anyway,
And
now I get
just as Jaron said, due to the regulations, there are very many products that have to go around the loophole, we'll call it, with fulvic acids, full power, for instance. How many of them are there that
Right.
are Ruby Full and asterisk? Just, it's like, it's just what we have to do, unfortunately. Everyone knows at this point, I feel like the real use and power of fulvic acids, the ones that are clean, the ones that are real, the ones that are good. And again, this
Yeah,
is
right there.
a
Boom,
multi-source,
go back to that
multi-part
page.
fulvic.
Go back to where you just were.
Yeah, so it's a return.
That's it.
Return on investment.
We're talking about just those three, so it's perfect.
Yep. Yeah, and it is perfect. So again, decision, bloom initiator, winter frost as a finisher, ruby fulvic used with both of them, but can be used with anything else and is used with the line throughout the whole bloom process. Again, a fulvic acid to help with uptake, efficiency, effectiveness. So used in conjunction with both the decision and the winter frost. And those are the three bottles that we're looking to give away today. So.
Yeah, and and like we said, we're not giving them away like we normally would and make everybody jump through hoops. We're just going to say everybody who's listening to the show, contact us through info at Adam Dunn Show or KTI at Adam Dunn Show, and we will get you guys a sample because we know we want all of our core listeners and everybody out there that really is interested to get this product just because we feel it's or at least I know I've been using it for 2 years. These guys have been around it a while longer, obviously, but the last 2 years I've been using it. I've been watching it adapt and change, and the thing that I liked a lot, and the guy that I just recently brought into my place to showed him what we were doing, he jumped on the line, no problem, and he was super happy to see Bud Swell in the program because that's something he's been using for years.
Sure.
And then there's a green sensation. So there's a few other little bits that kind of come into the whole formula to round it out. And it's like, it's interesting because, most people keep it all in their own program. They don't want to connect any other dots.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even think you guys are like really doing anything crazy with them. Like there's no big Bud Swell connection.
No.
Like
Nope.
it just works. Right?
It just works. It's a good companion product, is what we like to say.
Yeah, honestly, Bud Swell is a great product for the use with any synthetic-based nutrient line. I feel it's a great product.
It's a great organic additive. Yep.
Yeah, and that's one of the ones that I was using a long time, to the point where I even brought gallons back to Amsterdam. Which, when I think back now, it was just like because it was, it was like I was buying them for like $30, and then I was wrapping them up and then putting them in my suitcase, and then totally like, any liquids with you? Like, nah. Just got some bat guano, like a couple of these, whatever, and it's all full of phosphorus. So I'm sure
phosphorus, heavy metals, etc.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd be like, this shit's off the chart, because those things actually come up hot on any of those tests that they do, because those tests are made for like intricacies. They're not made for like massive amount, and there's so much in fertilizer anyway. And then we were just around it a lot, don't think about it, but that's literally the fertilizer bomb right there. Boom. So, you go to the airport just like I did coming in, after freshly transplanting, and you will come up hot.
Yeah.
It's been done.
Just like I did.
Just like I did. Yeah, I know I had that once. It was crazy. It was
they swiped your hands?
And, because I always opt out. So,
Sure.
I always opt out, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And then, where you going? Amsterdam? Okay, cool. I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. And then next one, they're like, oh, 2 in a row, that's not good. You know what I mean? And then they call in the next guy, and then they do it in front of him. Oh, bing, comes out right. So that guy's like, what, are you retarded, right? And they're like, no, I'm telling you. And then let's do another one. You know what I mean? So they're like, oh, shit. We got a code blue right here. You know what I mean? Then guys came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
they were like wearing face masks and came up, like looked at my bag and were like, asked me what I did. I was like, what do you? And then I asked the guy, is this thing fucking detecting weed? Because if it is, I'll just tell you, I smoke a lot of weed. I don't have any on me. I'm going to Amsterdam. I don't need it, right? And they're like, no, we don't give a shit about weed, right? And then he goes, why do you? He goes, why? Do you smoke? I go, yeah, I grow weed. And he goes, oh. And then they all looked at each other, and then they kind of were like, get the fuck out of here, And I was like, oh, they've seen this before, so obviously it's not the first guy.
Not the first one.
So,
and anyway, thank you guys also for hanging with us. And for the core listeners, we're happy to be able to get you some product for all the people who've been sticking with us today.
Oh yeah, maybe an extra special.
Yeah,
maybe for those guys. I was core. Just put I was core.
I was core.
I stayed through the part 5. We're in part 5 right now.
Right.
This is part 5.
We're in part 5.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, we're in part 5.
Right.
We're in uncharted territory. We're in uncharted, but rare territory.
We may end up in part 6.
Might end up in uncharted territory.
So, like we said, all these products can go with, pretty much anything. We didn't really touch on the decision. The decision I really love also, though, is that it kind of by the name alone, it tells you what the fuck it's for, right? It's like,
Sure.
it's time to change up your program. And what's the reason why does it work so well in that sort of time frame? Can you answer that one? Like, what is it doing that's got the plants to set itself up so nice?
Neil has made that product so effective with the use of certain forms and ratios of P and K essentially, and he tricks plants, if you will, into doing what he wants through the use of those instead of caustic PGRs, and that's as best I can say without he obviously has trade secrets that doesn't tell anybody, including me. But
no, I don't even care about how it's made as much as what it does. Like what is it? How is it? What is it signaling the plant to respond quicker to the next sort of phase? How does it do?
Well, I feel that any of those heavy PK sources in the first few days of bloom like that, several Bud Blood, Open Sesame, of course, there's several out there.
And that actually was his first product, right? Bud Blood.
I'm not Neil's?
Was it not?
I'm not sure actually about that.
Oh, I think somebody somebody that Bo told me about it. I thought it was Neil's was actually saying that was one of his first.
If he told you, it's probably true.
Yeah,
man,
possible for sure.
Oh, it's 420. We're actually on the air. We're on the air. We made it. We made it.
But to the best of my understanding, anyway, all those heavy PK sources, the way they work is they kind of trick the plant into thinking that it's going to die by kind of starving it of nitrogen first a little bit. And of course, it's positive stress. Once you reintroduce the proper diet, the plant's
chokehold. It's like a chokehold.
I'm not going to die, obviously. And here's proper nutrition. The one thing I will say about Decision is that it is a standalone product with the exception of the use of Ruby, which is not a nutrient, it's just an additive, of course. So the rest of those that prior mentioned, you do use with the rest of the company's base nutrients. Ours is a standalone product. Again, you don't have to use the Ruby. It's just what we recommend because you use the Ruby the whole time. The product will work just fine without it.
Gotcha.
So standalone bloom initiator works without the use of any kind of caustic PGR. Is very cost effective, and the effect kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah, and that's something where it's like not really. A lot of people don't think about that point. They just don't feed one time with food,
right.
give it a straight water, and then go straight into the next thing. And it's like it works the same as if you don't when people turn their lights off for their initial start of their flower period. I recommend over 24 hours just to give the plant that set real 100% know that
full
that
reset.
Yeah, exactly, reset. And it's kind of I feel like the Decision has that internal vibe maybe on the plant.
Yeah, without actually having to black them out at all. I mean, you keep rocking. You go right in from 18 to 12.
Yeah.
Hit it the day you go to transition.
Yeah, of course you're not having to do anything with the food, but at that point, instead of coming in starving, you know what I mean?
Totally.
I'm so hungry, and then all of a sudden your flowering is a little bit rough, you know what I mean? It's like, why not?
Yeah, and it just seems to let the plant know that, hey, you're flowering now. It doesn't go through that week of confusion saying, I was vegging, and now, I don't know, I think I'm supposed to be flowering, but I'm not totally sure yet. Because, I think all of us can agree without some of these initiator products, in reality, you've got 3 different phases, not 2. You got veg, you have transition, and then you have flower. And especially in something like longer-term sativas, you might have, even an additional transition time that you might even keep higher nitrogen products in for the little, first bit of flower, et cetera. So, point being, it I don't know. It basically allows you to tailor make it all a little bit more, I suppose.
Right.
And that Decision just gets it turned, gets you running right into bloom, and allows you to start with your bloom nutrients immediately.
Of course, you want them to start immediately.
Right.
You guys.
Well, obviously,
you're trying to take all our money, man. Bottled guys, you bottled dudes.
No, I get it, but I'm telling you, Neil's the type of guy you'd want to buy nutrients off of. If you stack these guys up and said, okay, let's look at them all, you're not lining some millionaires' pockets. Let's just say that.
Sure. No, and I appreciate the fact that it's locally, right now for right now, it's a local company, and it's, that's I'm always about supporting, and I also feel like when you do have a chance, not so much on the nutrient side, but definitely on any kind of soil or living thing. If you have anything local and you can get it just because whenever you ship shit across the country and it's it's not in its home, it's not where it's from,
right?
There's a very good chance it's not going to survive. You know what I mean?
Correct.
They're not going to continue. But where if you get it's kind of like when you compost behind your house and all of a sudden you're like, well, these things are doing great because everything's rolling properly. it's comfortable. It's not like it's just been moved 20 feet, you know what I mean, from where it's home. So it's not like, oh my God, where the fuck am I? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I feel kind of like with the seeds were like that too. Back in the day, living in Holland, I thought we had a better environment for growing seeds to be better in other places, more than if you're like in like if you're in Hawaii and you're growing seeds,
and then those seeds, Hawaii,
and then those seeds go somewhere else, and they wake up in Ohio.
Right.
And it's fucking winter time, and it's fucking the kid's like barely got his rooms hot enough, and they're running really cold, and just the thing's gonna come out miserable. It's gonna be like, wow, short end of the stick again, you know what I mean?
Damn it.
But it was kind of interesting because like when we did seed production in Holland, it was like I felt like whenever those seeds went to like Cali or other places, they just fucking went nuts, you know what I mean? Where so it's like Colorado's interesting because it's very dry. It's good. I mean, it's a very good breeding place. It's just like good for pollen dispersal, all that kind of stuff. It works well, but still, and it's good because it's very central. But it's the biggest problem here is our altitude. I feel like might be a weird thing too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's definitely something else. So, and if you think about that, I mean, seeds in Holland produce, and then
we're at below sea level. We're at below sea level. Then we give it
you're right, and then a lot of that coastal California stuff, right in the foothills. I mean, it's low level stuff. I mean, it definitely makes some sense. But you make some interesting points, no doubt.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, and they're all just. It's kind of like the same for everything. For people, plants. It's all very conditional on where you are. It's like, oh yeah, that guy Darwin guy, he figured that. That's the thing he figured out, right? And all that
out quick.
That random stuff. But it is very much like if you're, take the same strain, put it in two different places, you see it's done the same. With the food, on the other hand, though, it's like you take the same plant and give it two kinds of food, you also see a difference,
Absolutely.
And have you guys done any side by sides, just to see like? Do a whole run of advanced and a whole run of. Are you guys didn't do any of that kind of stuff?
I mean, I can say, and I know.
Obviously, we all have.
We've all ran a lot of it, and I definitely came out of using another line and ran it directly against New Millennium when I first started with the company, and I'll be flat honest.
Yeah,
fucking killed it.
Right.
And I mean, I mean. Truth be told, I was, before I was with this company, I was using something I was very happy with. It worked well for my situation. And, it's kind of one of those things. What's the best light in the world? What's the best nutrient in the world? I don't know. It depends on your situation.
Right.
There's a lot of ways to do this. So I was happy with what I was doing. I got so much positive feedback from sending this stuff all over the country. And again, Cole will back me up on this. Sent it all over the place. And I had so many people tell me, oh, I've used everything. This is the best shit I've ever had. I literally was like, oh, fuck, I gotta use it. And did put it in a side-by-side as any good grower does. I didn't bank my whole garden on it. And it became very evident very quickly. This is a plant-specific nutrient line. Could you grow tomatoes with it? Sure, I guess. But the reality is it kicks ass with cannabis. And it was developed for cannabis, and born and bred in the great state of Colorado. So it does well for what it's supposed to do well for.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the thing is, for me, flavor is really important, and also just like obviously the overall health of the plant is really important too. That's like, and then having a plant that's just super happy. Especially what I notice is like, I don't know if it's the decision or not, but it's definitely after the transition, and that first 2 weeks is like when you really like get the kind of tingles as you go in your room and you're like, wow, look at all this going on.
We're raging.
And then you already know it's setting itself up.
Yep.
And that's for me kind of like the products where it's good when you know your safe zones are, like, because there's sometimes you don't get caught by sort of sideswiped all of a sudden, like, where you get, especially when you do transition from different either strains or, because like if you have a strain you're really used to and you're growing it and all of a sudden you try something else and it just all goes south. I never, usually I'm like, okay, it's just something, it's too wet or too whatever, there's something went wrong there, and you have to run like pretty much everything about 2 or 3 times. After the third time, if it really, I mean, not everything, but I'm saying if it's something that's, it's just a unhealthy plant for some particular reason, and you have to figure out that side of it all. If it's a shitty plant, it's a shitty plant, you know what I mean? But if it's something like you're like, oh my God, this is special, but it grows shitty. Just like, I mean, I was checking out, somebody had some OGKB that was old, man, like the old, and the mom looked ragged, you know what I mean? It was just
haggard.
I was like, well, it's just, it wasn't even that it looked haggard in a bad way, like it's like been abused or anything. It was just an old plant, and
It was old, yeah.
variegated everywhere and looking all kind of like, you know, barely hanging in there. You're like, so when you get something like that and you can see the health improve, like something that you already like, you just know it's like, and that's kind of what I got with a lot of the products, which was, you know, that's important to me too. Is just maintaining that sort of health, which kind of repels all the shit that is.
Of course, healthy plants.
Because I was actually thinking the other day, I was talking to the kid that was helping me out, Andy, and I was like, dude, we haven't sprayed anything for fucking forever. Just not, you know. The last thing we tried was before Guardian, because Guardian was the last thing I worked. And then after Guardian, there was nothing to spray. And I was like, oh, well, fuck it. Just don't spray anything, right? I'm just not going to try nothing because I don't like neem. And just keep rolling with healthy plants. And it's like, you know, just eliminated everything that was even borderline. And, you know, that it's just nice when you're like, okay, this is great. I would actually like juice anything in this room, no problem. And that's nothing. It's been a long time since it's been like that, because before that, I felt like I was on a regimen all the time. Like, oh, yeah, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, got to do that. And actually, through Millennium and through having outdoor access and just putting plants outdoors,
cleaning them up outdoors.
That just helps them out. It's
it does. There's something about the sun, for sure.
It just sterilizes them or something.
It
instantly, you're like, okay, you're back. You know, the health is back. And because indoors, as good as we love it, it definitely... Especially with moms and stuff. Moms are the best to put outside for, if you can, for just a couple hours in a week or whatever, and kind of like, oh, they're like, yes, I'm alive.
I'm
still.
alive.
You know what I mean? For that minute or two, and bring them, all right, you're back in the fucking torture chamber. Back into my torture chamber. But
tie you up.
Yeah, but the the whole natural focus of growing, I think, is the key for longevity, because like, I mean, just like everything, you know, we all start look at California and Blue Dream. I mean, they grew so much Blue Dream that even they're sick of it now. Everyone's sick of it.
Oh yeah.
And you got a fucking beautiful bud of it though. Like, I mean, that's fucking gorgeous, you know.
Right. And hilariously, I prefaced it with, I mean, I know it's Blue Dream. I mean,
I know it. And it's actually a fucking gorgeous bud, and it smells good, and it's just the fact that you say Blue Dream and it just knocks it down fucking 4 notches in everybody's mind. And it shouldn't be that way, because it's actually pretty damn good weed. Because, again, like I told you, my friend had a guy who was growing it in Oregon and consistently producing over 30% extract off of it, where everything else, 22, 25, maybe 28, you know what I mean? But his shit was just a couple points over that. And consistent, because it's the most consistent fucking thing ever. You know what I mean? It's like,
it's very easy to grow, very resistant to a lot of things, and it's I don't know, not your heavy hitter like you're saying as far as effect, but for morning or like first thing daytime smoke and stuff.
Yep, it is. And I mean, and one of the things, even kind of just expanding on what you're talking about a little bit. I mean, I love how New Millennium really gets the phenotypic expression out of the individual plants. We've got several different strains sitting on the table here. Every one of them looks like it should be, looks like the strain it should be, smells like it should.
I've definitely went through, and it's not like they all smell the same. Or they smell
no, and I'm not going to name any names, but there's stuff out there that homogenizes. Yeah. There is. We know it.
Especially with the use of winter frost.
House of God.
I didn't say it.
Well, I don't have any allegiance to anybody. Except for you guys, of course, no.
Thank you, Adam.
No, but in general, no. I
You're here looking for good stuff. You're open.
I think everybody has a certain. It's like fucking Jacks. You know what I mean? If you don't give a fuck, grow with Jacks. Go for it.
Sure.
It's just a bunch of salty stuff, but it's not. We had other companies, Veg and Bloom and things like that are salts, but they were like thought out, and they were like, they're not just like, because that shit is like crazy concentrated. But if you see their packaging now, it's like they sit around at grow shops and just take notes, and they're just trying to like market it towards growers more and more and more, and they're trying to get like to the point where I'm like, oh man, people just. At a certain point, because of their prices point, some people don't care. But for me, as a consumable, it's even more because you're smoking it too, which is really, really huge. And
Correct.
speaking of all these things, let's do a giant shout out time because now we at least
This has worked long enough. I mean,
even
I think we're
though
clear.
nobody's complaining, we could have a gigantic echo, but I figure since now everyone's so used to it, it's like living next to the railway. You're just like, fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it.
I don't
Eventually,
even
it's
notice
okay.
that train, you know? I had that at Cold Creek, right? The first night I moved in there. I lived way the fuck up away from like maybe a mile from the train
Right.
tracks, but because you're in a canyon, it all echoes really weird. And I fell asleep, and I swear to God, I woke up thinking that, what the fuck, was there a train track behind my house that I didn't know about? Because it was like at my first night at the new house, you know?
Right.
And I was like woken up because it was so loud. It echoed up the fucking canyon and went like right into my open window. I was like, whoa! Like woke me up out of bed because they love to lay on that fucking horn as they hit that
Oh yeah,
corner.
yeah.
you
I
know?
love that. I love that shit.
And then but it was so weird because after literally like 2 nights, I was totally used to it and didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And then every guest who stayed had the same thing because it was
Fuck,
just
that's loud.
it was like a sound anomaly because it was like just sounded like a fucking train right behind your window, and you'd be like, look outside, you're like, there's nothing there. It's a ghost train, bro. I was like, yeah, tripping. All right.
Shout outs.
Shout outs. Okay, I don't know what order you're going, but we're gonna go the way you're going right now. Straight out of the gate, our buddies Jeremy over at Build a Soil, organic amendments, artesian, small batches, whatever you want from him. He'll do it from 1 bag up to fucking 30,000 bags. He don't give a shit. He's got all the hard to find amendments. Malibu compost is awesome. You ever heard of that?
Yeah, I have, and it is very good. I'm in total
You
agreement.
guys don't carry that, huh?
Well, no, not a 5.8.
Come on now.
No, my
Get
bad.
your shit together.
Talk about.
But you can also get stuff like dehydrated coconut, aloe, things that the plants absolutely love. And get ready for this next year. You can get all your dry amendments, things like that. And if customer service, bar none, he's the best guy out there. 877, let's go to the top of the page for a second. 877, okay, 855-877 soil. I knew there was an 877.
Yeah, right.
Somewhere. I'm just throwing that out there. Or buildasoil.com. Check them out. Switch it up. Do I have to tell you who to go to now?
Who would you like to go to?
Well, just go, and that's who I wanted to go to right there. Seats here
Boom.
now. My main guy. Where's my phone? Give me my phone over there.
Phone, telefono, por
Yep.
favor.
Pull up the specials because I didn't talk about them last week. But in general, seats here now, killing the game.
These guys are going to be at the Indo Expo again.
They will
yes.
be here. They
Okay,
will be here.
they've been there the last couple of years.
Yep, they're gonna
that's
be here
awesome.
for sure.
I've definitely
And
taken some product off them.
right now, in January specials, we have 15% off the entire website. That's right, 15%
whole
off
website.
the entire website. So if you want to buy the entire website, you're going to save 15%, which would be a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
The entire website, 35 people strains.
There are
That's a lot.
35 different breeders now?
35 breeders now. So
Wow,
they're killing it.
that is wow. I think there were like 8 last Indo Expo last year.
No, they were more than that. But
No,
they
8,
had
10.
maybe physically there.
Oh yeah. Well,
But no,
yeah.
in general, I think they're about 20 last year.
All right,
but
well,
they have
still,
almost
that's a
doubled
massive
up.
expansion. Yeah.
And all great breeders. If you go through the list, you'd be like, oh yeah, I need that.
Oh, you like that THC? That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I need that. And next week they have drops from Thug Pug,
Nice.
THC. Who are those guys?
Ooh, what the?
And the new Swamp Boys collection. Look for the exclusive release of Aficionado in 2 weeks.
Got
This
that
weekend we'll be at
arc,
LA at the Big Industry Show, and in Medford, Oregon at the THC Fair. Stop by, say hi. And obviously, like we just said, at the Indo Expo here on the 28th, I think it is.
Yep.
or
Yeah, it's 28th, 29th, Saturday, Sunday. We'll be there as well. New Millennium, Playground.
If you're here
Happy
locally, you
online.
can just bring in your. If you work in the industry, you can come in with a card. There's
100%, yep.
A couple of cool deals like that.
Yep. Saturday Industry Day.
Actually, we were gonna have Chris call in at one point, sort of tell us what's going on with the show. He's one of the organizers.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris is a good guy.
Yeah, and a bunch of different panels. I think I'm on some sort of panel thingy going on.
I
there.
think I did see your name somewhere on
think
there.
somewhere.
Yep,
I think
yep.
it's,
You might want to show up. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's Sunday.
I think so. I think Mitch's name is on there. I don't know if that's
It also might be on there.
Mitch. Your name is on there, Mister. Quentin Tarantino might have to show up,
Oh.
Mister. Get your name in lights. That's okay. He likes that. Where are we at now? Growstone?
Growstone.
Bam. Oh, now I don't have a beer for one time?
Oh, man. What
This is
the-
why I like to open a beer.
Oh,
I like to
there-
open my beers for Growstone. If you got to have your beer
Got one.
Good. There you go. We are making grow stones. 3 times efficient this week. 4 if he gets on to another one.
Right,
You want a
right.
beer?
Yeah, where they at?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
What do you want? You want one of these? You want a different weird one, or you want one of
It
these?
doesn't matter at this point.
Take one of those.
Beer, please.
4 times as efficient today at making these grow stones.
Yes.
That's one thing. I like when the inputs are stuff like just glass, 100%. There's nothing else in there. You know, you're like, bam.
Yahtzee.
And last forever. Don't float. There's a lot of great reasons you want to buy these stuff. Come in 4 different or 5 different types.
Yeah.
Everything from that mix, the smallest one that create a little layer at the top, keep nuts out, nice and sharp.
Yeah, nice and sharp. Nix the exoskeleton. Makes them
Yes.
dry out. Desiccate, if you will.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
But also up to the biggest ones, which you can use for drainage and everything in between. Mix. They have their own cocoa mix. It's just a good company. It's all American based. They do not import these glass bottles because they don't have to.
They don't have to. We drink enough here in Colorado alone.
We definitely drink enough. Yeah, and they're available on Amazon. I see right there. Bam! You can just go straight to Amazon.
Look at that! Look at that!
They also have a pretty cool Colorado crew these days with Nate, Toby, and Shay as well. So.
Yep.
And
Shout out to
they'll
those
be at
guys.
the show. I'm 100% sure.
Yeah, they'll definitely be out there.
So if you guys are in Colorado the next week for the it's next week, right?
Yeah, it's next weekend, not this weekend, but next. Yep.
Yeah, perfect for the Indo Expo.
We have samples. Got a box full of samples.
Box full of samples. Yeah, well, I'm not shipping no grow stones.
If you would like to come down to the studio and grab a bag, you're more than welcome.
Exactly. But definitely go to growstone.com. Check those guys out for availability where you guys are. If you are somewhere where they're not, try to get them there. Help them out. Get them in your store. Say,
Yeah, they're easy to find, though. They're out there for sure.
yeah, for sure. But you know how it is. One shop,
No doubt.
have nothing. Next shop, you're like, there they are. It's like, come on.
Yep.
And our buddies over at Way to Grow actually should have been at the top of the list, but it's okay. We can change it up a little bit.
Well, apparently Chrome was crashing things out, so I had to crow.
Take that music down because if it's playing,
Y'all don't like the music?
no man, take that music down. That is swag music because they start talking and everything. Pretty good website though. You can get on there and check out all the. They have.
Yeah, well, I haven't been on that in a while. They redid that.
Oh, they have
the old one
complete-
was horrible.
They have completely redid it. And right now they're having some sort of crazy sale. Looks like.
Oh, yeah,
with,
PL is $4.15.
$4.15 PLs. Oh, look at you guys. Phantoms. The Phantom double ended 1000.
$325.
$325.
Wow, they're giving them away, huh?
They are.
Man alive.
Those guys. Corey, man, you're the man. But they've been around for years. They've been holding down, before it even got legal here. They weren't.
Oh, they've been kicking ass and
They were
taking names for years. There's Corey. There he is.
There he is.
There's the man, the myth,
The-
Mr. Ennis.
He's in us to win it.
He's in us to win us.
He
There you
is. He is indeed.
1051 Platte River. That's my shop to go to as my go-to spot, especially on
Central Denver,
Sundays
yeah.
when other people aren't open. Bastards. That's okay.
Has nothing to do with us.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm not saying who, but I'm just saying.
Just saying.
That one shop that I love. If I
Of course, yeah, right. So, yeah, obviously Central Denver, a good one. They've obviously, Lakewood, Denver, the Springs, Lakewood, Boulder, and Fort Collins.
No, you missed one. Silverthorne.
Well,
Mountains, my friend.
Mountains.
You don't have to come
The
all the way
newest one.
down anymore. You can
You
come
don't?
halfway down and bam, you're there.
Boom.
I
And they've got New Millennium in the mountains.
know they do. They have New Millennium everywhere.
Yes, they do.
I'm super happy about that too because it's like that's what I had to pick up on a Sunday. Can you imagine me buying New Millennium on a Sunday?
On a Sunday, you got
How happy I feel about that?
Yes, well,
God.
I'm happy that you're
It's
happy.
like, are you
I'm
fucking
happy that you're
kidding
happy.
me right now?
Hey,
I'll
took
take
some work.
I'll take the micro size, whatever the smallest one possible is. I'll take that.
That's what I want
Yeah,
because
I can buy-
my people aren't open. on Sunday.
Exactly. So, but they saved my ass, and they can save.
Thank
your
you,
ass
Way to
too.
Grow, for saving Adam's ass.
That's right. It helps. And right down the street from there is my other friends kicking ass, taking names for real.
Yeah.
Incredible Edibles. The Incredibles crew have been holding it down here for 2 years, I believe now, fully and hardcore. But before that, they were making
They were
waves,
doing it.
especially Derek leading the team. Great recipes, super consistent, which is important. If you're gonna eat edibles, you want it to work every time, and you want it to taste the same every time. You don't want it to be like good batch, bad batch.
Yep.
And that's what you won't get with these guys. You get always the same. And on top of that, they're you look at their map of fucking Colorado, it looks like you definitely don't want it to be a nuclear air strike or something, because
it's a shotgun blast.
It's just blowow, and it takes over the whole thing. Let's do it. Let's
boom.
We're all going down. No one's surviving, especially Denver. Denver's done.
Denver is toast.
Yeah, Denver. Somewhere in between Lakewood and the mountains, you might get away with some splatter not getting to you.
Right.
Some chocolate splatter.
Get deep in the hills, otherwise you're fucked.
Somewhere.
Yeah, if they sent like an intercontinental ballistic missile full of edibles and nailed it right to the right spot.
Yeah.
Dose everybody.
Dose everybody.
Do it. But they don't just make chocolate. They make also great concentrates, great pens,
gummies.
Good product. Check for the black label too. That's their in-house stuff. And then you get yourself something that's super fire.
Ooh.
iloveincredibles.com is the website. Check them out. They're in actually California and Nevada now too. So.
Nice. Not out in the Northwest at all.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not on the map at least. Still got those popping bits in the 2017 thing, so that's something to get. And that orange tangerine oil. Haven't had that yet. Haven't had that, by the way, guys. So if you want to send that over to the office with the check.
No problem. We'll accept.
And what's that?
Did I forget somebody?
Yeah, you did. Somebody. Oh, New Millennium.
Oh, yeah, there's those
guys.
There we are.
Don't forget these guys.
Yeah, don't forget these
guys. Good timing, though. Good that you forgot them.
Yeah.
Well, New Millennium in studio. Like I said, right now you guys are officially our newest sponsor. So can't say you're the old school in the Adam Dunn Show crew yet. But I have been using the product for 2 years, so I can attest to everything, and that's why I was super excited to get you on board, because Mom, I loved right around Christmas to go bring her those big 5-gallon jugs. She was super happy. I was like, there you go. Thanks, Liam Bo and Adam Dunn Show for giving up everything just for you, Mom. But it's all it's all for the cause.
Yes.
It's all for the cause. But that's all she wanted to see, the big jugs.
The big jugs.
Those big jugs.
Yeah, no, definitely come out and see us at the Indo Expo
Mom
as well.
wants big jugs.
We'll have some fun stuff to give away.
We do have brand new marketing that just dropped out as well. We'll have new brochures, the whole deal. So definitely look out for it.
Yeah, come by and see us. We've got some fun stuff to give away, no doubt about it. So, and obviously, again, the loyal listeners will be taken care of.
Dang, I like that. Was that your?
I don't know. Was that my attempt at a radio voice? Was that okay?
That was your. Oh, is that guy?
I'm a first timer over here. I don't know. Is that okay?
Wolfman Jack. There you go. That was your Wolfman Jack. Wolfman Jack.
Yes, good old New Millennium.
So, how nationwide are you guys at this point?
I mean, we've definitely got little bits
East
and
Coast
pieces.
Here and there.
Yeah. A little bit West Coast, a little bit East Coast. We got some stuff down in Florida,
New England. You got some New
Michigan,
Rhode Island. You got Rhode Island. You got Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. We're actually pretty thick in Rhode Island.
That's awesome, because I have some friends who are about to start some big thing there. So.
Oh yeah. No, in all honesty, talk to me about it, because I got some good people out there that got it stacked.
I did see those photos from that.
Oh, there we go. Look at that. See, we're around. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's the guy in Rhode Island? There's one guy out there that's just crushing it.
Is he posting stuff?
He sent a photo to Lee that was being touted around as a Millennium. Yeah, no, it was a Millennium like na photo almost. Like look at we got nine plants, 12 pounds or something. Stupid.
I mean, we definitely honestly we got some people that are crushing it out there.
Yeah, it was
like killing it.
Yep.
We're doing well out there. So anybody that's in New England, basically Maine all the way down to Rhode Island, we got product on shelves.
Good. That's great to know. Because the availability of you guys are not with any major distributors though.
No, well we're with 5/8 distribution, which is a small distributor,
but not like Sunlight.
No. It is is small. I mean local style distribution is what I'd say.
Right. Well, because the thing is, if you do get on any of those bigger labels, they're just a little bit more restrictive, and they already got the big boys in their corral, and
no, totally
not so much thing as
here's I'm going to put it like this, guys. If you get a bottle of New Millennium, you're going to flip that thing around back, look at it, you see the description, everything else, but take a look at the bottom, and you're going to see a phone number. That phone number is Neil's personal number, the formulator of the nutrient. Tell me you got any other bottle out there that's got that on it. You got a question? Fuck it, give Neil a call.
Right.
I mean, that's reality. There's a certain amount of accessibility that we do offer and provide, being what I'd call the David and a Goliath world that we're currently operating in.
Yeah, no, it's no, it's great to have people who are still knowledgeable and connected to the industry, because one of the things about Holland, which was interesting from the learning point of view, but it wasn't necessarily what I sort of kept with me, because I was always challenging it, was they're always about yield over there. It's always like yield. Yeah, they don't even give a shit. They just want yield.
Yep.
And
I've grown Dutch strains
for, occasionally they'd hit it. You know what I mean? Like, wow,
Sure.
something quality and but a lot of times it was just a yield sort of thing. And then now I see the renaissance of growers who actually understand that, like, could be that little retarded, lanky,
Right.
not the best looking plant in the corner, but it also might not have the best love. And you grow it like 2 or 3 more times, and then by the time you kind of figure it all out, you're like, oh, it doesn't like a lot of food. It's like you just overfed it. Now it's all like just sitting there all stagnant.
Right. Well, we were literally talking about Dr. Greenspoon on the way over. That's kind of the classic example, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, you would never, ever look at that plant and be like, fuck yeah, I'm growing that.
Yeah. I remember when it first came out, and I was just like, wow, huh? Like, what? And to be quite honest, it's, to me, just like a Freak Neville's is what it really seems like. There's nothing beyond, like, it doesn't go outside of the flavor realm of anything non-hazy.
Right. I would agree.
And I've had other hazes that were 100 times more productive than that, but still unproductive in my mind. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, oh, I can't grow that. That's totally unproductive.
Totally.
But then, seeing that, and then seeing how much people were charging for it, because of course you got to,
because you get a half ounce.
Shows you that there's that market out there, but it's a small percentage.
It is.
It's not. It is definitely not the norm. But now with extracts, I think people are also getting a little bit more kind of getting away from the idea that everything has to be like photo quality, super perfect,
right?
Asymmetrical, all beautiful plant,
right? Because
unfortunately, many times those ones are like, the whole time it's growing, you're like, yeah, this is it.
Totally.
Pay dirt, finally, and then you harvest it, and it's like, I don't know. Just kind of doesn't
literally,
really
we've got a guy that was out in Michigan that did a really beautiful run with Plagrant Hydro, and posting it the entire time. It was great, and then he got it tested like a good producer should, and he basically started out with, like, step right up and judge a book by its cover. What do you guys think? And it looked gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Literally, waits a day, drops the test results on him. It's 13%. 13%. He goes, didn't taste worse than shit. He goes, didn't crack my head. He ain't worth a damn to me.
Right.
So yeah, it is tough, because we're living in this Instagram world, where if it looks good, then it must be good. But that's not really, necessarily the case. And I know a lot of old schoolers that'll say, best weed I ever smoked was the worst shit I've ever, it looked like hell, but it was, near psychedelic in effect.
And that's back to Lester Grinspoon.
You got it.
Pretty much looks like the worst weed you've ever seen. It's
pretty much.
Like a calyx here, a calyx there.
Those little
random squiggly wigglies. Exactly. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing really substantial. It's funny, too, because yesterday I talked to a friend of mine who's the original owner of the Gray Area over in Amsterdam, and he's back on the East Coast, and all he wants is that original haze. You know what I mean? He's like, I've had so many hazes, they're all shit. And it's like, it's true, because what we talked about earlier, I think there's a confusion within the industry of what's a true haze and what's what I would call a modern haze. And a modern haze would be something like a Jack Harar cross, that people just assume that spicy sort of singular flavor that comes out there, that when it first came out, it actually was more of what the Amnesia was over there, and it had a slightly like a soda flavor to it, or something like that, like a ginger ale flavor, where it wasn't strong by any means, but it wasn't bad. You know what I mean?
Right,
it was just like, it's there, and it's sort of, but it smelled very exotic. And so I think it got popular because it grew really well. It smelled nice. It didn't have a bad flavor. and Dutch people don't give a fuck because they mix it with tobacco.
I was about to say they put tobacco in anyway, so who gives a hell?
They don't give a fuck. So in general, that flavor kind of got lost over here because if anybody's an older grower and has had a good Neville's, it's got a very distinct flavor. That haze, and what's also interesting is this whole haze brother. I would almost call it a myth because I don't believe that there was any. I think it was just another cover,
Sure,
to kind of throw it to someone. Yeah, it's the Haze Brothers because there's no. I mean, and if anybody out there knows this is true,
contact us.
yeah,
I mean, I agree with you. It's just it's a good story.
Yeah, it is. So where are we at now? We're at like more than. We had like so many delays. We have to at least.
They're begging for seeds in the chat room.
Oh yeah, no, the KTI's got all the seeds. So KTI, he needs to get on to the chat. Tell us what we got, so we can figure out. Now we're talking animal noises. Now for seeds, there's no way around. You know, for food, I'm not going to make you dance. But for seeds, there'll be some dance. But actually, we can't pull the Skype in now. Huh? It's too complicated. It's gonna fuck everything up.
Things are working.
It'll have to be send messages to KTI, and he'll have to do he's gonna have to do it all. KTI, where you at? Where you at? Because he's got all the seeds. I have no idea what the fuck he's got. He got a bunch from Seeds Here Now. So
nice.
And
Nice. So are you going to be hanging out the show at all, Adam, or what?
Which one?
The Indo. The
Yeah,
Indo
we
Expo.
have. I'll be hanging out with I got a panel, and I'll be hanging out at the Seeds Here Now booth.
Okay, cool.
And
Uh-huh.
I'll be taking orders for Hoodlum wholesale. So people who have got shops can come through, and we'll have our sample set there to show people what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
It should be a good show this year. I think everybody seems real positive about it. The amount of people that are coming seems really, really good. And then also the diversity of companies you have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not just a few nutrient companies. This that. There's it's going to be a really good show. I feel like.
Yep, a lot of good seeds, a lot of good breeders. I know Nicotee is going to be there making hash live. You will see live plants there. I'm sure cuts will be given away.
Rosentech's going to be there.
Rosentech's going to be there. Yeah. So I think it's Chris has done a good job of helping put that show together and making it better and better every year. So definitely excited about it. What kind of flavors are you going to be dropping there, Adam? Any previews?
For me, I mean, nothing new. For me, as a breeder, maintaining what I've already got is the hardest part. And creating new stuff, I'm just like, next spring I'll have something new. I have a couple new things coming out next spring. Can't really decide. I have no idea right now. There's a whole bunch of flavors that came through. I was working with Bodie on some stuff, and
nice.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Literally, I've just been chopping things back, and it's been like. And then the other day I chopped something, realized I needed it, didn't chop it back totally, but was then I went and looked at the number. It was like, no, it wasn't the right number. It was actually in flower, 6th week. It was like done. I was like, I do have to re-veg it. And then this is not a test of Bodie, but it was a bunch of my guy called me. He said he found male nanners on there. So I was like, thank God. Don't have to re-veg that fucking thing. 'Cause I was already dreading because it's on a 20. It's already in like a 20-gallon container. So to re-veg a 20-gallon thing, those never work. You know what I mean? They're too wet.
Yep.
So in the end, I was actually happy that I had nanners for once. Like, yes, nanners, kill it. You know what I mean?
Take it down, get rid of it.
I'm in the zone, but some fucking flavors coming out of his flavors and also growth patterns. Like, because I've had some. Super classic sativas and some more than classic indicas to the point where you're like, I wish everything was like that. You know what I mean? Right. That just fucking perfect stature and rigidity to it or whatever. And you could beat the fuck out of somebody with the stick. It was like a
rigid.
Thick plant. Yeah, it was a tough plant. And those were all this jasmine cat piss that I took a male from and then hit everything with that. And now I'm going to work with those. I'm going to do some. So it's a jasmine cat piss from Bodie with every possibility that, not every possibility.
Right.
But for most, I think 8, right? He's got them all popped. He's got them all popped now. But
nice.
Yeah. There's a bunch.
Pairing them up.
Some Diesel, some Banners, some kind of all the classics, and then
Jet fuel.
yeah, some jet fuel, just some other randos.
Sure.
Some got to do Gorilla Glue. And the Gorilla Glue seeds, even though it's like one of those everybody's using it or whatever, but the fucking Gorilla Glue seeds, they came out so big and so
They're
perfect.
so fat and beautiful. I did that outdoor Gorilla Glue across the summer too, and it was just like these beans are beautiful.
Yeah, the beans were like literally like somebody painted every one of them.
Yep.
I was like, wow,
They
these
were
things.
the first ones out of the gate too. Like they popped and they were cracked in 2 days. And everything.
Boom.
Yours popped in 2 days.
Yeah, out of all the batches.
Yeah.
Some of those good glue cuts are just phenomenal. It's crazy.
It's I'm a glue fan.
Yeah, no doubt.
Color me a glue fan.
Well, the whole thing about it is it's like a better white. You know what I mean?
It's a way better white. Well, because it has flavor.
Because exactly. And but it's very finicky too, where people don't get it every time. Like
Right.
but they get the growth every time. They just don't get the flavor every time.
Right.
Like the flavor seems to be like a, I don't know, 60-40 on it or something like that. You don't always get it, but when you do, it's kind of like, it's not that intense, but it's nice. It's if it's done well, and it's funny. It's like a pleasant caramelly almost sometimes, but
Can
really
be inconsistency
lightly.
even.
It's strange. It's kind of an elusive one because most people they overnude it because it wants to just.
Yeah, because you can.
Yeah.
It's not that you should, but you can. I
Yeah.
mean, it'll take some abuse, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And it looks like diamonds, but it's it definitely is a good one. I love the beans that came out of it. I crossed it with a super silver haze from Dynasty, and very excited about it. Calling it super glue.
Yeah, the thing about the glue in general is it mixes really well with most. I mean, it definitely has it influences a lot of things because it doesn't have a lot of flavor to begin with. You know what I mean? So but it's there pleasantly enough. You know what I mean? Yeah, the white was always one of those things where they'd look great.
Always will look great with the white.
But
but
yeah.
Hey,
cardboard is what I used to think. I was like, kind of cardboardy,
cardboard, even worse.
Yeah, it's definitely why it's so commonly bred with is for the aesthetic appeal, not the effect or the taste. I don't feel like
Yep. Yeah, but that white will. I mean, it'll make it look good. It'll make it sparkle like diamonds. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
Interesting breeder, no doubt. But you better be putting it into something that's got some flavor town because you will just be disappointed otherwise.
Well, the funniest part to me is that it looks like Gorilla Glue looks like real good hash when you real Gorilla Glue. I'm talking about not the plant, but it looks like you just squeezed the rosin. Like you could go there and take one of their presses. We should go to everybody should go to their place. They should whatever press they have, press it down, and then go get some Gorilla Glue and then squeeze it along the edge. Just give it that appearance of it. And someone else would be like, "Whoa, bro!
Holy shit!"
Because it does look like fucking good resin. Good resin. But he definitely. I mean, they're kind of setting themselves up for failure in the long run. As far, in my opinion, just as like getting sued because weed is going to become soon. That
Sure.
It's like you kind of got to future-proof your names to not because if you just backbite off of somebody else's name, no matter how, because
it didn't matter before. I mean, but now with this legitimacy and everything else that's going on, it will matter. I agree with you 100%.
I mean, even Dark Horse got cease and desist for Bruce Banner. You know what I mean? It's like, really? Like his name is Hulk. Like his last name is HOLK. So he's like, that is his name. You know what I mean? So by going Bruce Banner, he kind of went for the non-obvious, you know what I mean? Which in general also, not only just the non-obvious, but also the most respectful. It's like, who gives a fuck about Bruce Banner normally? Like now everybody cares.
Right.
So he actually helped Bruce Banner because Bruce Banner as an actual character was a nobody in the fucking world of characters. Like, who's your favorite fucking superhero? Bruce Banner, bro. Not the Hulk. Bruce Banner. Because when turns into the Hulk's kind of a dick. I like him when he's Bruce because he's a total...
It was David Banner.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, on the series with Lou Ferrigno.
Really?
With the purple pants. Yeah.
See, so even like...
David Banner.
And he even changed his...
Bruce Bixby was the actor.
Oh my God, he confused everything. So he even twisted it up.
Whoa, you just blew my mind.
So if that's the case, if it is actually Bill Bixby and David Banner, and he changed it to Bruce Banner, then 100% there's absolutely no reason that he should have to change it at all. Cause
Right.
now
Talks
he's
about changing anyway, right?
yeah, he changed. I changed it. You don't want to make me angry.
Do not make me angry.
But in general, yeah, be careful with those names out there. If you just,
Yeah, no, again,
Like, you
future
base
proofing.
your-
I think that was a great way to put it. Future proofing.
Yeah, well, if you completely base your entire company off of somebody else's trademark name, then you're probably going to find yourself in a lawsuit at some point. And
At some point in time,
and
if
they
you
might have
actually
more
gain
money
any
than you because you
success.
actually made it up after them.
Right.
Meaning they have a fucking foothold against you.
Correct.
So you might probably be the problem there. So yeah, and I think that happened with like, all this Skywalkers and all the fucking. I was just like, yeah, you're probably gonna get. It's like if you're gonna base everything on Star Wars, like your entire company's based on Star Wars. It's cool as a fan thing, but they're cracking down. They have like lawyers on lawyers.
Big time. Oh,
Their
they got
lawyers have
fees.
lawyers.
Yeah,
Their lawyers
their
have-
lawyers have lawyers.
Their lawyers
They
have lawyers. Yeah, exactly. That are sitting around going like, "Oh, this guy's using our fucking name too," and it's like. Those guys do that lightsaber thing that they do these like lightsaber parties, and they would call them lightsaber parties or whatever, and they had to fucking cease and desist because they charged money. People came in and did lightsaber fights, and it became a big thing, and the guy was killing it, and he was making fake lightsabers and cracked
You're
down.
done. You're done.
You're
Do
done.
we have Schwartz fights?
He was crying. He was,
Yeah.
He was crying. It was funny.
Nerd wars, no more.
He got nerded out.
Yeah.
All right, so have we figured out KTI? Has he figured out how he's going to do this? Is he giving anybody seeds? What's going on?
Donde está KTI?
Oh, yeah, I got to give a story for the Roof 95. All right, so Roof 95 just came out in Europe. So now, of course, everyone's going to hit me up for seeds. I gave them seeds to work with, to select, to do their selection with.
Sure.
Everything right now coming out of Europe from my company, from TH Seeds, is based out of Spain. There's nothing in Amsterdam anymore. All the growing that I did in Amsterdam is in the past.
Null and void
There's
anymore.
null and void as far as I gave out my genetics to my partner, who then brought them to Spain, who now they've feminized from that point, and whatever males I did have and what I did leave for, because that was the thing when I left. I remember like seeing my genetic stock left into like a couple trays or something, and I was just like, oh, this is so depressing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm out of here. And who the fuck knows what happened after that point? So in a sense, in the beginning, there's a lot of, so I didn't want him to actually do, well, not that I didn't want him to do, I didn't leave him with a lot of males. I only left him with certain males. And because it was almost too complicated, and they didn't really care because they do mostly feminized anyway.
Yeah,
So,
I don't give a shit. Or
so
seed poppers.
yeah, and so everybody in Spain is like, that's their specialty, is feminized seeds. So you give them something, and they actually do a very good. There's some good growers down there, and we actually linked up with some real good. We have a good French kid who works with us, Julian, and he's, but he's actually even more of a normal breeder, but he understands it all in the market there. Anyway, this Roof 95 was seeds that I had brought back because when I first came here in 2010, I had. Luckily, somebody who brought me my clones back to me, which was great. So they had a hyperlink between that. They had the hyperloop before it was even a word. So they had some magic carpet, which would take clones from Europe to America, which was pretty awesome because I was like,
I need
he
these.
just handed me my clones in the same tray that somebody else, like I left the tray, flew back, came back a couple days later. Here's my tray. I was like, good job.
Yeah,
So-
thank you.
And he gave me my seeds that I had left, which were all in my fridge, which were literally the biggest jumbolina of fucking seeds ever. Like there was no rhyme or reason to anybody else who got these seeds. They might understand like a code here and a code there, but one of the codes was a yin yang that we put on there. And it was like the very, very beginning of making sage, we didn't have a name for sage. So we were just labeling like with hieroglyphics almost, and so one of them was a yin yang, and the yin yangs were like the indica, but the more sweeter version indica first round, and then we sort of zoned in on the sage part of it all, and that's the sativa side, and that's what we ended up with. But in those first rounds, we had these yin yangs, and we had them like different backwards colors and stuff. So for years, I had this bag, and I'd always see the yin yang, and I'd always be like, oh yeah, first generation sage or whatever. So I knew it in my mind, but I also kind of was happy that they still had the yin yang, because I was like, man, if anybody found these seeds, they'd be like, oh, these are your original sage. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was like, oh, cool. And when I came back here, I sprouted them in 2011. at my old house up in Cold Creek, and did some sort of initial selection, and gave a few to different dispensary guys, and a couple of them had them on their shelf for a while, and they had a couple different phenos because I gave them seeds also, and I gave a couple clones because in the beginning I did some sprouts, and I was like, okay, well, I've got a few hundred seeds, and I really don't. And there was, and interestingly enough, everything had a really like a red wine, kind of a weird, just strange flavor to it. It wasn't like real, just it was a very different and smoky, but not in a bad way, like kind of a old school with a, so it kind of got to the hazy edge, you know what I mean? It was like that like woodsy something edge.
Sure.
And that's kind of the part of the sage which a lot of people don't zone in on. They zone in on the Foco sage is completely different. Like that's mostly Afghan, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why it grows like a beast and it finishes when it does and doesn't have the same spicy quality to it, but it's still super dank weed.
Sure.
And so those Roof 95s, we grew them on the roof at the CIA, and so I put roof on the bag. So it was a yin yang, and then later I put the word roof because then I knew that it was on the roof. You know?
Right.
So I knew it was outdoor, sort of Holland, which is a very rarity because
Sure.
most things don't finish there, right? So I had this thing. I remember having across the street from the CIA, there was a dispensary called Picasso, and they were pretty good, mostly hash, but they had some pretty decent weed. And one day they threw out a sort of cabinet that they had, and I took it in and had a sort of somebody tried to draw a Picasso on the front of this cabinet.
Right.
So I took the thing and I took the back, I took the top off of it and I filled it up with dirt and put another piece on the back. So I turned it into a pot because I ran out of pots. So I was like, oh, that Picasso thing will be cool, and grew this plant out of it, and it was like really spiky, like had like super large calyxes that were really, really spiky. And I remember like being like super surprised because even though it was, because the thing about Holland is we're in the city, so we have a kind of like ambient light, fucks up almost everything. So
Right.
most everything's a little stringy and weird, and you don't get the full flower. And if you put it on top of your building and at nighttime you go outside, you're like, fuck, there's always
Kind of night.
kind of night, kind of street lighty. But that one somehow just fucking pulled through like a champ. And when we were drying it, I found some seeds. I got quite a lot of seeds. So it is it's an unknown. There's definitely
Sure.
an unknown there.
Right.
But that donor plant, basically, you could call it, because I had at that point it was the yin yang plant because we didn't have any names for them. And then I remember keeping those and a few other things, and just kind of one day back in my mind. After that, we went on with the Sage project, and that just kind of like took over from that whole group of seeds. So
Sure.
anything that was like B grade, and I wouldn't even call it B grade. It was just the stuff that didn't make that initial round, except for this one like survivor plant, you know. And then when I gave them back to the guys in Holland, my partners there, for the growers in Spain, they basically selected from that a couple different things, and then there was some. I mean, the thing that's nice is when people take their time and they have just like, that's all they're doing, is so much better than if like I'm usually popping things with other things. And
Right.
if something good comes up, but if you're like only focusing on one, here's 50 seeds,
Right.
I'm going to find the best thing. And that's what Julian did. And they found some amazing plants. I was like, wow. And weirdly enough, like how the sage had the flavor of Big Sur, where it came from. This thing, being a sort of Amsterdam weed, had a kind of an Amsterdam vibe, even though the genetics that the seeds came from were those Cali things. So when I was
Right.
there, I was tasting California, and now I was tasting Amsterdam. I was
Amsterdam.
like, tastes like Amsterdam. It's kind of weird, So I feel like the plant has that absorbing quality where it's like if you're in the mountains of Colorado. And you're gonna taste something. Yeah, you got that little piney thing. If you're in California and Southern California, you're gonna get more of that, ocean grown, or whatever, And maybe in the middle of in New York, you got the I can't believe I grew this in the middle of the fucking New York weed.
Right.
Pretty much, there's like
the holy shit factor.
but then the water quality too makes a huge difference,
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
if you have good quality water, probably makes your weed taste better. Do you guys use RO with all the? Do you guys ever use that?
That's
I don't
actually
anymore.
honestly not necessarily needed. And interestingly enough, New Millennium was developed on the Front Range and developed with Front Range water. So, it's anybody living on the Front Range. It's literally directly what it was developed for. I personally like running a small boy, just a 2-stage filter out of it. No need for RO, that's for sure.
Right, and I was in the beginning. I was like, oh yeah, get an RO machine. I was all excited, and then it was kind of like, well, who the fuck's filter, and is it really going to be on time? And
what do I do with this wastewater?
And why am I? Yeah, exactly. Why am I just dumping so much water down the drain? It's like it's such a bummer, especially because now people use it for ice. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to make all my ice with RO water, and it's like when you see the amount of wastage just to get the fucking amount of ice you're getting, just to watch it all melt when you're doing your runs,
right?
Just to kind of keep doing that on it. It's kind of like it's not the best sort. It's like, come on,
no. You want your chlorines out, your chloramines, things like that, heavy metals. But beyond that, it's pretty much comes out, pH perfect for the most part, unless you got a real wacky water source or well water or something like that. It's quite nice.
I'm using well water myself, but that just depends on your spot, I guess.
Of course, yeah.
And luckily ours is pretty damn good. It's like 60 parts per million.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's better than our tap water, right?
Yeah.
And it was like 6.8, 7.1 maybe in that range.
Yeah, you don't even look at a filter when you got water like that.
So that was like one of the selling points of the property to us. I was just like, oh, well, this water is fucking phenomenal.
I'll take it.
And it has artesian well on the property that sits above like at the top of a hill. So it trickles out. So you can pretty much year round, compared to being at the bottom where it all gets all swamped out or this stuff just it's in the perfect location. It's weird, and it comes out pretty much year round because it doesn't really freeze as hard. It's not in the mountains or anything.
Right.
So barely get a freeze, and so middle of the winter you just kind of chip off a little bit of ice there and drop.
All right, I'll be by to fill some jugs.
It's got a little trickle thing. Yeah, I bring jugs back to the city all the time. Every time
sure.
I come home, I bring like 4 or 5 things. I'm like, it's good. But what was really weird was when I was first there making clones, not now, but at the very, very beginning when I first got there, if I cut a clone, put it in a glass of water, went around the corner, put some gloves on, come back, it's already got a black ring around the top, around the bottom of the cut, right exactly where I cut it. Like just a little black ring,
Weird.
And I was like, huh? And I was like, that's weird. And I think, in my mind I thought iron possibly, because iron makes stuff that dark. And check the water sample. I did one of those, home water sample things.
Sure.
Nothing came out weird. Everything seemed to be in check. It definitely seemed hard. I don't even know if it's a global thing, but it seems like making clones got hard again all of a sudden. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? It's like all of a sudden I'm having a hard time making clones, even though I used to use rock wool a lot. Then I kind of got out of rock wool because I came back here. I was using easy cloners. Then I was like, well, can't ever give anybody clones. They always fuck them up. So if I put them on Rockwell, at least I can give a couple here, a couple there, whatever, and people at least I know they'll make it. But in general, it seems like me, and then I checked with a few other people, and they're like, I'm having the same problem, dude. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just weird. I think a lot of the materials, on new material, I'm even having it, which is weird because usually it's like, okay, it's old.
Sure.
Plants
less
get old.
vigorous,
And I have stuff that takes 2 weeks to root every time. I just know it, you know what I mean? And you have to somehow keep them in check for 2 weeks. But then I got other stuff that's like, it should be booming. And it's just like, meh. But then once it gets past that initial phase, it goes great.
Yeah.
But I don't know, just weird. I was like, I lost my touch, dude. I can't even make a clone all of a sudden. It's like,
well, yeah, and I've always said cloning's kind of weirdly, half art, half science. It's got a weird quality to it. It really does. Yeah. Sometimes I have good runs with clones. Sometimes not as good. Tough to attribute exactly what it is to.
So, let's see. What are we doing, KTI? What are we doing now? What are we doing? Tell me. I gotta know. Gotta give away seeds, bro. I don't know what seeds we got.
Colorado water is awesome.
KTI.
I had 10 ppm or so. Yes.
My front range water was 9.5 pH.
See, and that's what we're talking about. Not everybody's guaranteed to, have such quality. I mean, it is situational for sure. 9.5. That's difficult to deal with. That's definitely difficult to deal with. So what else we got on there?
So, do some giveaways if KTI can figure it out. You got to come up with a plan of some sort. Can't do a call in, so I don't even know how we're gonna do that. You got a contest? You got an idea?
What now?
You got a question idea? Weird question?
Weird question idea.
Something that somebody should have listened to on the show, but they maybe didn't listen to.
Oh man.
Something that you said that was ironic and weird. What's this fucking guy's name? There you go. There's a question
there
right
we go.
there.
All right, there we go.
What the hell is this guy's
This
name?
guy right here.
That'll be the first pack of seeds.
First
Answer to KTI.
The spelling be correct.
The spelling better be
fuck
right.
You guys.
And his name is not Bob.
It's
or
not
Jim,
Bob.
Or Fred.
Or Fred.
Or any of those. Or Josh.
Yeah, nothing normal. Well, yeah, nothing
Or
normal, I
Dave.
guess.
Because Dave's not here.
And I don't know what pack, because KTI is going to make that decision. It's going to be the first pack. Come on, KTI, where are you? Got to come up with another weird question.
Spring Hill Jack wants some alien orange gun.
Whoa.
Sour apple,
Mr.
orange gun, alien.
All aliens. He wants to meet the aliens.
Okay, so Adam Dunn show. Sour apple,
says
orange
give them
gun,
a what?
alien tarantula, Horus, and Orangina. Okay, now
Orangina.
KTI, tell me, who are these guys? Are they all from one company? I don't know what's going on, bro.
My well in Central Cali is like 900 ppm. That sucks. Well, depending on the composition of it, but even so, that is some hard water.
That is some hard water right there. Yeah,
He peed it so much.
Just blowing through our RO filters.
Yeah, just blowing through. Hey, by the way, you do not need to use CalMag.
no.
Zoomga, if that's your. No need to use CalMag. I don't care what your local shop's telling you.
That's right. Oh, see, they're cheating. They're already going back to part one, but they can't watch it until it's published, right?
Oh, trying to go back on a sound. Well, look, good luck because it was loopy.
Yeah, and you got to add the loop in there too.
Right.
Might
into
have
this
been cut
name.
halfway through. You never know which
Yeah,
one it is.
hell, honestly, I don't know.
I don't know.
No.
What name? Something like that. Yeah. Oh man. So Alien Invasion. What's this Adam Dunn show? Okay, so it's hard because we're both Adam Dunn shows. So
Right. I'm confused.
yeah, it gets weird.
The names are Echo. All right. All right.
Okay, that's enough.
All right, Spring Hill.
That was a-
That's funny.
Probably Spring Hill wins one anyway. Just 'cause he's such a
Yeah, I'd say
dedicated-
what the hell. He's been hanging out long
such
enough.
a
Damn it.
dedicated listener.
5 takes, Buck Russell tells us. 5
Okay, so
takes.
KTI is saying last week the browser was open on the computer, causing the loop. KTI is a technician now, by the way.
Tell KTI browser Chrome specifically has been closed out a long time ago. We're now functioning in Mozilla.
Unknown Prophet,
Fox.
Regina, and Horus, and Swamp Boy. Oh.
Don't fuck with me. Because we're going to redo it all for next week.
Here we go. Unknown Prophet does the Orangina, and Unknown Prophet is a killer breeder. So if you can get that, whoever gets that, I don't know. We got to come up with a better contest. We have no contest. I have the worst contest ideas because I'm just like, ugh. I hate raffles. I hate
Raffles, calling contests, meme contests, all that fun stuff. It's you got to keep track of it.
KTI
all.
is in charge of who's winning the seed. So whoever's announced this guy over here is named first.
Right here
is going to be a winner of the first pack, and the second pack. What was the other great idea I had? Another stupid.
I don't
idea.
know.
See, I thought I had one. What?
Oh, well, we did have
Oh yeah, we
one.
said Spring Hill Jack's going to win one just because he's Spring Hill Jack,
Yeah.
and because he is one of our
Well,
most
Tony
dedicated.
Maloney.
Huh? No, he's already won last week. So he's Tony.
TB,
Baloney.
he already won last week. Well, we appreciate him hanging out even
Tony
so.
Baloney is still reveling in his victory of last week. We got to pass
And,
it
and
on.
he'll have some new mail coming his way.
Spring Hill Jack's
Hit
winning
up
just
KTI.
because on top of everything he's asking who won the seeds. You won the seeds, motherfucker. That's how it goes.
Right.
See? That was easy.
That's
We're the
easy.
easiest contest ever. Huh?
Huh?
What? 2 Spring Hill? What? You won. It's easy. That was it. And we have one more. We have to do another
Ask
contest.
another
We need
question.
one real good question though. That's a good. Come on, guys. That's why I need Mitch. Mitch is the question guy.
See the
He would
question guy?
do
What
do
is the
do
difference
do.
between humic and fulvic acid?
And And then we have to tell KTI what we have to send
Yeah,
him.
but then we.
Then KTI has to know.
The answer was given on the show.
It was. I mean, it was.
Okay. Difference between fulvic and humic acid. First answer to KTI wins. KTI, you don't know, so I'll have to text you because you probably didn't listen to the show properly, but maybe you did. I don't know. Should we text KTI? Tell him so he knows.
Thank you, Spring Hill. He's going to call in next week and do animal noises for us. We do appreciate that.
Good. We'll be set up for Skype for sure next week. That's going to be. I wanted animal noises too.
Next question is, what was the F1 variety that Yin Yang was the code name for a while?
Oh,
Ooh.
that wasn't so hard. I just said it 3 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got 5 seconds.
I don't know if we have any more. I thought we had 3 packs, but maybe we have more. I don't know. How many packs we got, KTI? I know
Let us know.
KTI. These are all of these packs.
Heron, no. Tuna, that was close, though. That was, Jerry, also close. Oh, Tuna wins. Jaron, no, she got it, or he got it, or whoever the hell it is. There was Jerry, then Heron, and then Jaron. Hey, fuck, they got it right eventually. They got it right.
Jaron. It's kind of like Jerry.
Kind of like Jerry, only with an N.
With an N.
But, nice,
All right,
nice work
tuna,
there.
Tuna. So Spring Hill Jack won. Tuna Jack won. I don't know what they won, though. The KTI is going to have to figure this all out. This is
That we don't know yet.
This is complicated stuff that we need. This is what's hard because KTI is up.
Did I get it? Tuna won it? Yes.
Yes, you did. Yes.
You got it, Tuna.
Good tuna. So, I think we're going to be winding down this crazy show of weirdness. Are we still echoing, by the way? No one gives a fuck.
Get the echoes,
Some people do.
So the
some
lucky echo
don't.
people, by next week, will be unlucky, hopefully. And the unlucky people will be lucky? I don't know.
Maybe
Whatever it
we'll
is, we're
next
going to
week.
fix this fucking problem. That's all I know.
Tell Cole I said what's up. Who's
IROC?
IROC Watts. Tell Cole I said what's up. LOL. All right, IROC. What up, Cole?
Shout out to IROC. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Holding it down south. So we're going to wind down. I want to thank all the sponsors. We have Seeds Here Now. We got Way to Grow. We got Incredibles. We got Build a Soil. We also got New Millennium in the house. And Growstone.
Growstone.
Don't forget our
Every
good old
Growstone.
Gross. Don't forget every layer of Growstone. Half our sponsors are going to be at this show next week. So if you guys are in town, pretty much everybody, I don't know, maybe Jeremy will be walking the floor. Who knows? I don't think he has a booth. Yeah, beer. And but definitely Growstone, New Millennium will be cruising.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you booth wise.
Yeah, you'll be. Yeah, we'll have a full
You're
booth. We
boothed
got
up.
10 by
You're
30.
boothed
We're boothed up.
10
Come by
by
and see us.
30.
10 by 30. We're going big, bud.
Wow.
We're going big. So, all our brands will be there. Come by, see us. We got samples. We got fun stuff.
Nice. And then Seeds Here Now will definitely be there. Seeds Here Now. Seeds Here Now.
With packs in hand.
Just souvenirs.
Yes, souvenir packs. Of course.
Just posters.
Posters.
They'll have posters and some free stuff. But definitely can go meet the crew from Seeds Here Now there and a couple breeders because we'll be doing some panels. I think it's going to be me and Sonny Chiba and Odie Diesel and TSK and maybe one other guy or something like that.
So all that sounds
I think we're
right.
doing a breeding panel, and then there should be some other good stuff I'm sure going on. They have a bunch of other speakers. And
Yeah, there's seminars both Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a good time of year. It's not that cold. Everybody thinks it's freezing in Denver, but it ain't.
Warm today.
Fucking nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So come
balmy,
on through.
Actually.
I want to thank Joel for looping us through this show. Next week he's going to have it down though. He's new. We're sabotaged. The fucking equipment sucks, but we're going to make it happen.
We're getting there.
8 more days, and we should have the studio pretty much to the point of actually being a studio, hopefully. So we're looking at maybe 2 more shows. 1 more show here, and then maybe hopefully the show after that will be maybe in another spot. Yeah, maybe by 2 shows. Definitely by
Looking forward to it,
3 shows.
Oh, it looks very nice. We're excited.
Definitely by 3 shows, and Joel's in charge.
4 shows tops, guys.
Okay, maybe
4
74 shows.
tops.
74 shows. I want to thank my beautiful wife Cece, off to pick up Nick, for helping us out, keeping this thing rolling. I want to thank the kid for calling in and trying to make shit work somehow. Maybe come in next time. That'll be better. Come on in, kid. Next week we have a big show. Frank Egax in the studio for real. I received a box today with a pair of shoes for him that he'd ordered, because he thought it was so cold here, because California people get really scared. They're like, whoa, it's so cold.
It's Colorado, man.
It's got cold right in the name. The letters of cold are in there. It's cold.
It's Colorado.
Exactly. Coldorado. But it's not. So anyway, I know he's really coming. And you guys need to tune in on that show. We'll definitely do a 3-hour show for that one. Try to get the most out of having the man himself in the house. Go back to shows. I think it's 44 and 45 or 43 and 44. But check those shows to update yourself on who this Frank Egax character is. And then next week's show will make way more sense and be way more exciting, because you'll be like, man, that guy, he's there for real? Fuck.
Holy shit.
Thank all the listeners and sponsors once again. My mom down in the farm, Andy helping out, keeping things rolling, kicking ass, Jacob and Sonny, everybody who makes things roll. Let's see you guys next week, and I guarantee we'll just get this fucking loop thing done, because no more looping. Looping that was funny for a day. Ha.
Joke's over.
Joke's over, bro. Trump's president. Joke's over.
Joke's fucking over, everybody.
The joke just started. The joke's in the fucking White House, so there we go.
God.
Fuck.
Here we go, everybody.
Shit. See you guys later.
Go.
Peace.
Practically every one of the top 40 records being played on every radio station in the United States is a communication to the children to take a trip, to cop out.
That's awesome. So you guys will be able to hit your clip,
The
right?
psychedelic jackets on the record albums have their own hidden messages as well.
No new digs.
Pete, thanks for getting all takes. Okay.
Yeah, got it. Figured it out.
It's hard from an audio engineering perspective to be able to troubleshoot and not know how everything is passed.
Well, you didn't plug it all in to begin with and set it all up to begin with.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's like somebody bringing a plant to you and going,
My plan is sick.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Practically every one of the
Any plans for the weekend, Adam?
Mom just came back from Jamaica, so I have to go down there. Make face.
Nice.